Good morning to all. I am very happy to welcome our today's resource person, Dr. K. Bharat Kumar, Associate Professor, CMR Technical Campus, Hyderabad. Welcome, sir. I welcome all the participants for the fourth day quality improvement program on real-time technology application and electronics and communication. Once again, I welcome you all. Now I request Mrs. G. Kavita, Head of the Department, Electronics and Communication, to give an introduction about our resource person. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Now he is working as associate professor in CMR Technical Campus, Hyderabad. He completed BTech in ECE, NEC in Nellore 2006. He completed MTech in JNTUH in 2011. He completed PhD in RF Engineering, Pondicherry Central University 2019 batch. He published 10 reputed journals like elsewhere and attended 25 IEEE conference. Got many best paper presentation award in different IEEE conference. He qualified UG JRF in 2013. Right now, he is working as chief editor for International Journal of Communication System. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. And very good morning, on all. And my name is Dr. K. Bharat Kumar, as we know that. And now we'll discuss substrated integrated waveguide components and waveguide topics also. Madam, it's audible, madam, please.
It's audible, but your voice is low, sir.
Okay, now it is okay, madam.
Okay, sir. Now it's okay, sir.
Okay, now I will present my topic as a substrated integrated waveguide. First of all, why should we use this topic in the antenna and in our RF systems and why? Why we are using this topic? What is the importance of this one? And where we can apply this topic? That is one of the important. And this is my mail ID. If you have any doubts, please give a mail to this one. Now we'll start that. First of all, we'll see these are the outlooks. First of all, we'll see the applications, introduction, and what is substrated integrated waveguide, how we'll design the components by using this one, and what is the future technology, and what are the references we consider for sharing of this one. Now, these are the applications. Right now, many persons are facing biomedical application point of view. My patient is present in one place, doctor is present another place. While going to the patient, from patient place to the doctor place, it will be many things will be happen. But it is interlinked to the internet of things, that is daily, means every second the data will be transferred to the doctor, and doctor will be monitored at that time. Each and every second, temperature, breathing, and everything will be observed by the doctor. And there we can place the blood pressure sensors and immunity sensors, artificial, many things will be happening. So at the time, this data will be transferred either using any one of the virus technology, and every second. So high data rate is required. That is, high bandwidth is also required. High bandwidth, high quality, low losses with less area is required. That is the main motto of the design of this one. So mainly area is one of the important. Quality factor is also another important. Another one is bandwidth is also important. So because every second data will be transferred from one place to another place, means how much more data is also required. But up to now in India, 4G technology will be used, but the 4G technology will be approximately 100 megahertz per second only. But practically 100 megahertz is also not possible. That's why 4G is not developed in India. Only 3.75 technology is developed in India. That's why we get only 10 to 20 megahertz per second, that is Mbps per second only we can transfer the data. Either you can use Geo, either you can use Airtel, anything, only maximum speed is 20 to 30 Mbps only. But 4G is nothing but it offers 100 megahertz of the band, but it is not possible, that one. So we'll require high bandwidth, also one of the criteria. That is nothing but 5G application point of view, or many more application, IoT, many things will be happening in this one. So the first application of this one is biomedical point of view, assistant treatment, and many things will be. Next one is we can go to the 5G. What are the 5G requirements? 5G requirements is many things. You can apply this 5G as a broadside area, small vehicles, collisions, and transportation, and medical wear, and critical control of the remote of the devices, and internet. Many things will be happen. So we use this technology in this case also. And third one is IoT device. This IoT device is entered in many fields, like many things, like what I is showing as a circular manner. Now, what are the requirements of this one? First of all, either 5G, and why we are using SAW means the main requirements of this one is end to end latency is very low, mobility is very high, because we are carrying mobile or anything devices from one place to another place. At the time, connectivity is also required, high data rate is also required, traffic volume density is also high, because not only myself but also many persons will use these devices. At the time, high data rate is required. But hello. So terabits per second, that is traffic volume density is also very high. And now we are using megahertz, gigahertz, terabits per second also we require. And data rate is also required. Connectivity is also very high, we require. And the main one is to design anything, Internet of Things or anything, we require first of all law of the cost, and a minimum impact environment, and self-powering free spectrums is also required, and passive components, scientific components, everything we have to design that one. So everything is possible. So this is a basic spectrum of the, this is the electromagnetic basic spectrum, and these are the short range wireless communication system. That is nothing but Zigbee is first used for only 10 kilobits per second only, and which is used for only 100 meters or maximum distance, and a low power radiation properties are required for, but Zigbee is not at all suitable for designing of this component. Bluetooth is only used for 10 meters distance, and which is transfer the data 10 kilohertz to 1 megahertz of that one. And Wi-Fi is mainly used for 10 Mbps only, but it is in only 100 meters only we can use. And wideband, ultra wideband frequencies is used only this one, but it is not possible for long distance application. So we want to design a system which is 100 meters, that is a 1 kilometer, which is having like audio, video, many applications for long distance point of view also. That is the main motto of this one. And different wireless communication systems are present, and this is used for the Wi-Fi systems, and this is used for the Zigbee systems, and these are used. But right now we are presented here because home point of view, now we are using router inside of the home. If you connect the 5 devices to the router, the speed will be reduced. But we want to increase the speed. It is present in gigabits per second, but it is not possible by using router. So we have to design high bandwidth components at this point. So that's why we are going to the new system. And also while increasing the frequencies, that is nothing but while increasing the frequency, then only latency decreases, connectivity is also increasing. But by increasing the frequency, then automatically you get the losses also. What are those losses? These are the losses, that is fog loss, visibility, and carbon dioxide loss, and also drizzle loss, heavy rain, and regular. These are the different losses will be considered. At these frequencies, at a low frequency, this effect is very low. But while going to the high frequency, these effects are very, very high. That's why we have to consider those one also. Now, why we are using communication system? Communication system is nothing but it is a connectivity to drive the human productivity and innovative many areas. That is nothing but these wireless system will develop many applications, many innovative applications to the development. And also it is a much more growth is also available. By using this communication system, high quality, low latency, and many more requirement is also there. This is possible only when 30 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz if we use. Why I am using 30 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz means a high spectrum is available. Who is the first history? Then we will discuss the history of the that is millimeter wave. That is 30 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz of frequency is there. That is millimeter wave frequency. And millimeter wave frequency is the first used by our Indian scientist Jagadish Chandra Bose in 1897. The first experiment done by him at 30 gigahertz of the frequency, and he developed many things of that. And also the first reflected antenna is also designed by Jagadish Chandra Bose also. But that due to the lack of the knowledge, due to the lack of the channel characteristics analysis, and that's why much more development is not there at that time. But after 100 years, then a development will be going on the millimeter wave components. And what are the applications of this one? And he will apply it for means after the development he's himself, then these millimeter wave frequency is used for radar astronomy, military applications point of view, micro integration point of view, and many more applications. What are the main advantages of this high frequency? The main advantage of the high frequency is it is rather still development is going on. That is no more, much more crowdness is also there, much more free bandwidth is also there, high data is also possible, security and privacy is also better at millimeter wave frequencies, and multiple short distance also can easily possible, narrow beam width is also possible, hardware size is also reduces, and higher frequency of the antennas. And the disadvantage is, first of all, there is no manufacturer. Yes, we can do design in the software, but fabrication is very difficult. Up to now in India, only 40 gigahertz of the testing and measurements is also there fabrication. But it is there only in India, throughout India, 4 or 5 places we have above 40 gigahertz of the measurement and all the facility. But below the 40 only, many one is maintained. But above 40 gigahertz, no one is having those one. And extremely high frequency signal attenuation. Attenuation is available. All millimeter wave cannot be going to the long distance application, and penetration power is also very less, and oxygen rain effect is also very less. And in 2020, the market will be going on from 2014 to 2020. So what are the challenges of millimeter? The first challenge is works only for line of sight, and path loss is very high, and high power need for the fan, and 60 gauge kills you because more radiation is also there. Beam forming does not works, and it does not go through the walls. These are the main challenges. And what are the requirements? High density fabrication, high frequency operation, integration of the systems, circuits, and cost effective mass production, and easy fabrication, compact size, low weight, low loss, complete shielding, and high power capability is also there. So which technology is suitable to design this, all these technology? And what are the previous technologies also? And the transmission line technology is used for low frequency application, but it is not used for the high frequency. And also it is offered high band, it offers a high bandwidth, but it is application testing point, but it is a fabrication is very complex at the microwave components point of view. That's why transmission lines cannot be used. And the waveguides are used at the microwave frequency, but due to the bulkiness, due to the load losses, these are the advantages, but bulkiness is the drawback, and expensive for the fabrication also. That's why waveguides are not also suitable. This is called as a non-planar technology. So waveguides are non-planar. Waveguides are bulky in size, expensive in the component. These are the drawbacks. But the advantage is it can handle the high power capability and low losses, high quality factor also. So to overcome the sizes and expensive cost, then we will go to the planar transmission technology. In the planar transmission technology, either you can use microstrip or coplanar or strip line or whatever it may be. But the main one is these are the 4 different planar technologies are there. But microstrip will offer only 250 as a quality factor, and coplanar will be provided 150. But the impedance matching provided by coplanar is very good. And these are also having some of the drawbacks. Those are nothing but high losses are also there, low quality factor, cannot be used a high power handling capability. But what are the advantages? Compact size, low cost, capability of the integration, everything is good. So now what I'll do is I will combine both as a planar and non-planar as a combined. Then I will make one of that is as a substrated integrated waveguide. Substrated integrated waveguide is nothing but it will be takes the advantages of the planar, that is nothing but microstrip or coplanar, whatever the advantage, that is compactness, that is means less size, and also fabrication cost is also very. And what are the advantages of the non-planar, that is rectangular, that is nothing but high quality factor, low losses are there. So now I'll combine both technologies, that is nothing but planar plus non-planar. Then I'll make a new technology, that is substrated integrated circuits. The substrated integrated circuits are also many types, that is substrated integrated waveguides, substrated integrated image guides, substrated integrated non-radiated dielectric, like this. But among this one, substrated integrated waveguide is the most popular one because of its construction, everything, which is also called as planar post-value waveguides and lamination waveguides. What is substrated? These are the different types of the substrated integrated circuits. And now we'll discuss one by one. Substrated integrated slab waveguide, each is nothing but like this, and here dielectric medium is there, and both sides holes are created. Due to this one, bandwidth is also increases, but structure will be means getting vias are inserted, that is holes are inserted, means vias are inserted. Those vias are create some of the losses, that's why losses are increases, but bandwidth is very high. And next one, ridge waveguides. Ridge waveguides means totally we are using top metal and bottom metal. In middle only dielectric material will push the some post. Due to this one, losses are also increases. And these are the one of the components we will design for that ridge components of this one. Ridge substrated integrated slab waveguides. This is also given some of the holes, some of the problems among this one. And now we'll go to the substrated integrated. This is nothing but planar, non-planar, that is a rectangular waveguide. How we'll make it rectangular and non-planar as a substrated integrator means, now we'll see that. This is a rectangular waveguide. Then the rectangular waveguide means all the sides are closed. That is this side, this side, this side, all the sides are closed. That's why losses are very less. And also high power will be easily possible. But what is the next one? This is a planar. All the sides are open. That's why compactness is also possible. We'll place it as one of the dielectric medium. Previously in the rectangular waveguide, it is a air, but in the planar technology, that is microstrip, and this one will place one of the dielectric. By placing the dielectric, the design parameters are reduced. That is length, width, everything is reduced. Now I'll combine planar and unplanar like this. By placing some vias on the both sides, then it is becomes as a planar becomes as a non-planar. That's why high quality factor, high bandwidth, high power handling capability, low cost of the fabrication, and low means loss means size is also reduced. And these are the vision. This is first invented by Kehu and Dilson, and the ability of this one is cost is very less. Mass production is also possible. High density is also possible. What is the definition of substrate integrated waveguides? Means waveguide structure fabricated by using two metallic rows of the metals, holes and vias, slots connected to the top and bottom, and ground plane as a dielectric medium. What are the advantages of substrate integrated waveguide? Means the complete circuit, that is nothing but either active and passive components are replaced by on a single platform, and low cost, high density integration, complete shielding is also possible. Now here, this is a comparison between all the technologies. There's a microstrip. This picture will be given entire idea of the everything in whatever we'll discuss now. Now this is a microstrip. Microstrip is there. The size is reduced. See this one, size is reduced. Cost is also less. But what is this? Losses are increased. Waveguides are there. Waveguide size is much more, and the cost is also very high. But the cost is also very high. But losses are very less. We replace by dielectric. Dielectric means losses are increases, but size is also reduced, cost is also reduced. But the quality factor is waveguides will be presented in thousands of that. But means dielectric waveguides are present in 2 to 3,000 only. That is hundreds only. But microstrip will be offering only, microstrip is offering 50 to 200 only. That is nothing but the microstrip will offer very low quality factor, but SIW is offering even though thousands. So that's why compared with the microstrip, this is high one, and compared with the waveguide, quality factor is very low. But losses are compared with the microstrip is reduces. Compact size is also possible. Cost is also reduced. That's why we'll go to the one. So how we'll connect it? This is the SIW components. This is the SIW component. How we'll communicate this SIW component to the other component? By using either two types of the transmission. One is microstrip transmission, another one is the coplanar waveguide transmission. This microstrip transmission is presented like this, and below of this one, SIW to microstrip possible, and here the signal is passing like this. That's why here it is works as a similar to the rectangular waveguide. That's why quality factor is also high, and bandwidth is also good. Now here, this is the SIW. And SIW to coplanar transmission. SIW to coplanar transmission is also similar to this one, like this. This is the one. Now here, sorry for that. And one more point I covered here. And here, the holes will be works as a closing part for this structure. But in the planar structure, the holes are not there. That's why the fringing field will be increases. Due to the fringing field, losses are also increased. And this is the different comparison. Waveguides are losses are less, power handling capability also good. But what is the problem of this one? Compact size, cost is also very high, but shielding is also good package. But these are the advantage. The red one will be indicates the disadvantage of this one. That the planar transmission line is, these two are the drawbacks. That is the losses of power handling capability is very low, but compactness cost is also good. Self shielding and self package is also less. And is SIW technology, losses are also medium, Power handling capability is also medium, but remaining are also good. That's why I told that SAW is a combination of these two technologies only. And what is the modeling? This is nothing but in here also TE10 is a domination mode. That is here there the center maximum and at the low side will be there. So that's why modeling is also similar to the rectangular waveguide. And now these are the electromagnetic means closed part of the metallic wires, and this will be change the field like this. And now this is the equivalent circuit. So that is nothing. This is a rectangular waveguide and this is the SAW. Here in the rectangular waveguide, width only will be changed the operating frequency and everything. But here the changing operating frequencies depends on width and diameter of the wire and spacing between the wires also. And what are the equations? These are the equations which is considered to design any means substrate integrated waveguide. How will design the spacing and diameter of the rectangular waveguide means this is the interest of this one. This is one of the paper will be given, and this is the region of the interest. While we'll take an S by D ratio, that is spacing between two wires and the diameter is like this ratio, relation of interest, then only it will be operated the good result. If the below of this one, it is given the unpredicted results in the software, but the fabrication results will not given good one. That's why we always taken means we want to design any SAW structure, we mustn't should operated in this region. But I'm considering entire design means my part, entire design part will be presented here. That's why I consider that red point. And what are the losses are there? Here dielectric medium is there in between. On the top and bottom coppers are closed by sandwiched by a dielectric medium. So top and bottom copper layers are there in between this one. Dielectric medium is there. That's why dielectric loss are also increases. Copper is also there. That's why metal conductor loss is also there, and here wires are created in between that. That's why a space is there. If we consider more space means leakages are increases. If I reduce the spaces means burning is also happen. That's why we choose properly spacing and diameter of the wire. So it is always less than 2.5 D is taken. At the time only less radiation leakages are available. And now different components. What is the main mode of the SAW companies? First of all, propagation attenuation concept of the interaction, and next one is scattering parameters of the interaction, radiation parameters of the SAW antenna. These are the main ones. And what is the needle of this one? This is a flexibility and everything we require. And here HFSS software and CST software, Pico and I3D, anything we can use for them. But most probably HFSS and CST components are used to design the SAW component, because HFSS is most probably used for frequency application point of view. CST is more used for time domain application point of view. So Pico is mainly used for radome application point of view. I3D is most used for MOMS, that is method of movements application point of view. But those are old techniques. That's why latestly they are using CST or HFSS they are used. And what are the components will be presented up to now. So before discussion of this one, now I want to show that one of the video. If you want it means, please see this one. Hello, madam. Video is coming, madam. Please.
You might know it as the Internet of Things.
The video is not coming, sir. We
Video
see just slides only, sir.
Only just a slides are only coming, madam. Yes, wait, madam. Now it is coming, madam. Video.
Yes, sir.
Just-
Yes, sir. It's came.
Yeah, please listen this video.
Allows physical objects or machines to connect to the Internet. This means they can communicate and share information over the Vodafone network without the need for human intervention. But how can M2M benefit our lives and businesses? Meet Mark. Mark is fast asleep in his smart home that's powered by M2M technology. Mark's just like you and me. He loves to sleep. But today, Mark's trains are cancelled, meaning he will need to drive to work instead. Luckily for Mark, his connected alarm clock automatically goes off 10 minutes early, ensuring he won't be late. And best of all, Mark didn't even have to do a thing. And with smart sensors installed, Mark's home automatically adjusts to its environment. So if it's a cold day, Mark doesn't have to worry about turning on the heating. His home does it for him. These are just some of the multitude of smart home services M2M offers, along with everything from remotely monitored security alarms to remote health monitoring. And that's not all. As he commutes to the office, Mark finds that M2M technology is everywhere, from real-time adaptive traffic control systems to smart waste management. Advertising content systems, which target you when Mark gets to work. M2M technology can monitor and analyze Mark's business energy usage, giving Mark the information he needs to save. When it comes to Mark's business assets, from fleets of trucks to vending machines, remote monitoring lets him know the status of them in real time. And if machines can be fixed before they break down, saving time and money. Just imagine what services you could offer your customers when you know what your machines are doing. New business models are now a real possibility. Consulting, leasing, proactive servicing, and more. Also, with asset tracking, Mark has the power to know the location of his assets, such as a fleet of delivery trucks or the products being transported in them, with all their status information instantly at his fingertips. Best of all, this can be achieved on a global scale. But what is M2M? You might know it as the Internet. But what is?
Now what my aim is, madam, now PPT is visible, madam?
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
Yeah, now what my aim is, now next technology is machine to machine communication technology is going on. That is, machine to machine is nothing but either Internet of Things, either anything will be happen. That's why I'm showing that video. Now how we'll design these components. So to design those components means high bandwidth, latency, cost of the device, and less size. These are the main requirements of that one. Now what are the components? How we'll design the component? Either passive components are designed at 27 gigahertz is like this, and here holes are created, and this is the holes are created. This will be act as a groundment, and these holes are act as a a resonance one of that. And this is a diplexer, and this is a circulator, and this is a hybrid coupler, and this is a dual one will be taken. And this is the again one more Iris means that is a one type of filter, and it is another filter is going on. And these are the different types of the filters, and this is the antenna will be created like this. And how we will design the active component? This is works as a oscillator, and this is works as a mixer. Okay, here this is the dielectric this is the dielectric component, and this is the means not dielectric, directional component, directional coupler, and here some of the components will be mixer signal in this case. And this is an amplifier, and this is the oscillator at 35 gigahertz. And SIW antenna, just we will place it, we are placing one of the slots in this case. That's why this is works as an antenna, and this is also another antenna. Now in the antenna, a much more development is going on in the research one. This is the first type of the antenna will be developed by using this one. On the two sides they are creating vias, and here slots are created, and this will be given 13 elements of the slotted wave, but directivity is very, very low, because we'll communicate to the other devices. High directivity is required, and efficiency is also good, but its efficiency is good, but directivity is very, very low. That's why I'm going to the another one. This will be developed as 13.6 elements of that. This is a multiplication of this one. This is a single one. This is multiplied as 6 elements. Now it is given a high directivity because number of elements are increased as approximately 78 of the elements antennas are there. That's why directivity is increased. But again, if I increase this one as 256, that is 13 by 48, high directivity is possible. But it is a substituted integrated waveguide. One more type of the antenna. Both sides are presented like this. Two inputs are given at that time, which will be 12 elements of the SIW array antenna. Directivity is very less. Efficiency is also. The same one will be developed as a power divider. This is a power divider. There's a T junction power divider, and here Y type power divider like this. And these are the antennas. They are developed like this, which will be given high directivity, but efficiency is low. This will be highly high directivity with efficiency is very low. When the efficiency is increases, directivity is automatically reduces. When the efficiency is reduces, means directivity is automatically increasing. This is the most frequent suitable for the many more applications of that, like a radar application point. Now those are the components. Now I am designing entire system on a substrate. How will design an entire system on the substrate? So system on substrate is nothing but we'll taken as a substrate. We are considered RT diodes as the most probable substrate because which is given the low last tangents constants everything. Now this is one of the system they are developing in foreign countries, and it is a single chip model which is having both transmitter and receiver of this one. Here mixer, power divider, everything is possible. It's the antenna, it's a mixer, and it's a transmitting antenna. Everything is possible as this one. This is a multi-chip model which is developed for the RFID application point of view. And this is a compact wave. Now, if you think it, the SIW thing is also not suitable for the compact size point of view. In SIW is also is possible to design, means to reduce the size by using different models. Like what are the models? Means high bandwidth is required, means folded one. If I use two layers as in a dielectric material, that is two layers, then the two layers means capacitance changes. Capacitance changes means frequency is also change. So by using folded one also, we can easily reduce the sizes, and also bandwidth is also increases, and many more application points. That is half wave also we can change the means. If I use lambda as the wavelength of the any wave, though we can consider antenna as a lambda by 2. If I use half of that, that is lambda by 4, the dimensions are reduced. Two metal ridges, that is inside of one more dielectric medium, that means one more ridge is placed. At the time also the size is reduces, and these are the different components by using that one, and these are the one. And this is a single mode of the one, and this is the one more applications of the devices. A novel solution for the compact filters by using folded one. What are the one? These are the different one is there. That is nothing but by using like this folded one, you can place like this. By using this one also the size is reduces. By using this one also size. So the signal will be passing like this. Different filters techniques are. These are the different filters, whatever we discussed previously. But see this one, this is the size of the SIW filter, and this is also elliptic filter. But this is normal filter, which is not used as a this one. This is nothing but just like a microstrip one. The sizes are very high. By using two means cavities at the place, size is also much more reduced. This is one of the SIW filter. On the two layers they are using, on the top side and bottom layers are connected by using wires. But by using cavity at the back side, the size is again reduced very, very low. So these are the one matching devices. And active antennas and reconfigurable antennas are also we use in this place. These are the some of the antennas. They are placing one of the cavity on the back side. Due to that, many more, much more size is reduced, and also high directivity is also possible. These are the different types of the active SIW antennas. And these are the SIW antennas are also. And this is the tunable antenna we'll design in here. Here they are placing FET devices on the four sides. Due to that, variable devices, variable diode is placed. Due to that, variable frequency is possible. Due to that, variable frequency means uh, we can change the bandwidth, we can tune the entire antenna to the particular frequency also. And this is the structure, design structure for that. And this is the radiation patterns of this one. And this is the active antennas as a multi-array manner. The same antenna is used as an array manner. Then again, bandwidth is also increased. This is a one more array type of the antenna. And this is the array is used at 10.55 gigahertz of the antenna. That is a low frequency. Novel materials for the SIW structures. That is a 3D printing. Next generation is 3D printing, textile, and paper antennas are required. This is the fabrication device to design that. And this is the materials. These are the different nozzles are used to fabricate that one. And this is the 3D printing cavity, which is the size is 67.2 mm and 47. That is nothing but approximately 7 centimeters of the length and 5 centimeters of this one, approximately, not exactly. And these are the requirements of that. And this is a 3D printing technology. We are using this as a glass material for the fabrication. This is the simulation structure, and this is a real-time fabrication of this one. By creating the holes, it is also used as a good one. This is most probably used in the means design of robotics and many things, but the structure is we can design according to the one. These are the different structures of this one. And this is a 3D printing models for many more applications point of view. And tuning dielectric mediums also. Like multi-layers are used in here. Due to the multi-layers, again we can reduce the sizes also. And these are the different multi-layers concept. And this is by using glass, that is a filament as a material, and they are using this one as an antenna, like a substituted integrated waveguide antennas. And this one. And this is one of the SIW filter they are using for this one. And this is a textile antenna. We are designing on the textile. We'll place it here and we'll test it also. This is done in Belgaum University in foreign countries of that. This is a flexible materials, SIW materials. We can easily fabricate this one. We can place anywhere in our body. So either on the shirt, pant, and everywhere we can. This is a very useful for future communication, means future application point of. These are some of the textile components of the antennas. And paper based antennas are also designed like this one. This is why we are using this. It is eco-friendly, low costly, flexibility, but disadvantages, losses are there. But we can easily we can compromise any one of the factor. Bandwidth is also very high. Everything is all, but losses are also increasing. We have to compromise one of the place. And this is inkjet printers. They are used for the fabrication. Normally, our printers only. The cost is very low for this one. And the multi-layer. These are the multi-layer concept we use for the reduce of the size, for increasing the bandwidth. Also, they are using multi-layer. And these are the references we will consider to design this one. These are the references. Yes, madam. Any more doubt? Please raise your doubt.
Participants, if you have any doubt, you can ask to sir.
Something, some of the persons are asked to chat. The voice is not audible. Yes, madam. Any more doubts, madam?
Nothing, sir. Nobody asking any doubt.
Thank you for the given opportunity. Thank you for well, and I feel very happy to communicate with you. Any more is there, sir? One doubt is, sir, is the substrate integrated waveguide circuits? No, sir. Sir, substrate integrated circuits means circuit is a combination of components. We can design means components like a duplexers, diplexer, mixers, everything we can design on a single substrate. So, which is a technology like a rectangular, planar technology, which is used. What is the purpose of radiation leakage? Radiation leakage is not a purpose, sir. While designing the antenna, radiation is possible. that leakage is considered as a radiation. Okay, so that's why you create a means slots on the top side of the antenna. Due to that leakage, radiation is possible. But that leakage is advantage is the antenna. That leakage is drawback in the components like a filters that one. That's why on the top and bottom completely shielding is happen. That's why any signal will be propagated within a waveguide only. So in antenna, radiation leakage is the advantage, but in the other components, radiation leakage is the drawback. So in the and in that process, sir, tell me, sir, please, Abhinay Krishna, what is your doubt, sir? Abhineshwari, madam. Okay, madam. Any more doubts, madam, please?
Participants, if you have any doubt,
Any more, madam?
nothing, sir. Shall I conclude, sir?
Yes, madam. Thank you, Vanana. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for a valuable presentation. It's informative and a very nice section, sir. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. Thank you to one and all, and thanks to your management, principal, and HOD sir, and everyone. Thank you, Vananda.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.